As Nigeria marks 25 years of uninterrupted democracy since the 1999 transition from military rule, the nation reflects on an inspiring yet challenging journey. The Nigerian democratic experience stands out in a continent where some countries have been plagued by military coups or extended dictatorships. Our reporter, Angela Daku, now reports.
Nigerians' Democracy Day was originally celebrated on May 29th to mark the handover of power from military to civilian rule in 1999. However, in June 2018, President Muhammadu Buhari announced the shift of Democracy Day to June 12. This change was made to honor the significance of the event of June 12, 1993, when a pivotal presidential election took place. This election is widely regarded as the freest and fairest in Nigeria's history, symbolizing the collective will of the Nigerian people.
In 1979, Obasanjo handed over, as a military president, handed over power to the civilian president then, that is Shagari, who was elected in the 1979 election. And in 1983 again, another election was conducted. But at the end of that particular year, we saw another military junta under former General Muhammadu Buhari. So since then, we've been battling with an issue of democracy being interrupted by the military regime. But in 1999, don't forget in 1999, when then the former military head of state, General Absalami Abubakar now, handed over power now to the same President Obasanjo who handed over power in 1979 to the civilian government. So since 1999, we've been enjoying the democratic system of government in Nigeria, which gives the citizens now the opportunity to elect who becomes their leader, unlike what we saw under the military junta. So I think since then we've been recording some improvement in our democratic system of government in Nigeria.
12th day of June 1993. Nigerians from diverse backgrounds, ethnic, religion, political persuasions, went to the poll, not minding the unfriendly weather of that day, to cast their ballots for who they consider as somebody who is more qualified to be Nigerian president. And that was about the first time since our post-independence political history that Nigerians will come out and speak with a voice to decide that the candidate of the Social Democratic Party, Basharun Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola, was more qualified to be our president in Nigeria. To the extent that the then candidate of National Republican Party, NRC, Alhaji Bashiru Matova, lost in his own polling unit, in his local government, in his state, Kano, to the candidate of SDP, which was, of course, unprecedented in the history of this country. And that pattern of voting as at that material time cut across all the political divides, all the zones in Nigeria, which means the result of that election was considered as the freest, fairest, and the most peaceful election Nigeria as a nation has ever conducted since our independence, even till now.
While reacting to the development level of the country from the inception of the Democracy Day 25 years ago, ranging from its first decade till date, these knowledgeable Nigerians bear their minds.
We are still battling with the issue of corruption. No, corruption has been since 1999. We thought it would go when Yar'Adua came on board. Unfortunately, Yar'Adua did not spend much time when he was in office as the president of Nigeria. But when Jonathan came on board in 2011, you know, a lot of corruption witnessed under Jonathan regime was alarming, in such a way that when Buhari came on board in 2015, we saw some people that were arrested under Jonathan regime on the issue of corruption. So again, when Muhammadu Buhari came on board, people believed that corruption would be the thing of the past when he came on board. But at the end of the day, he left office. Look at the people under his government now that are charged with corruption cases. You see now. In fact, look at this present administration. The Minister of Humanitarian and Disaster Affairs, no, she has been suspended on the issue of corruption. So corruption has been the most prevalent issue that we are battling with in Nigeria since 1999. Again, the issue of insecurity. I told you since 1999, we'll be battling with the issue of security. And up to today now, can Nigerians go to their bed with two eyes closed? Don't worry about economic challenges in this country. Look at 1999. We know what dollar is talking to naira. But what are we talking about today? We know what naira is talking to dollar today. Look at the inflation rate. If we are celebrating democracy, what about economy? Because economy dictates how the country will go, how your citizens will go. Today now we are still talking about 130 million Nigerians that are multi-dimensionally poor. So where is democracy? What are the leaders doing in ensuring that economy is working for their people in such a way that we lift many Nigerians out of poverty? What is our infrastructure development is talking about today? What is our health infrastructure? What is our education infrastructure? So those are the things that are still facing our democratic system of government today in Nigeria.
Nigeria has some challenges. But the unfortunate aspect of the whole thing is that problem or challenges have refused to go. That's our problem. Developed countries, they have their own challenges. But they are addressing their challenges year in, year out. And you are seeing the effects of the address of their problem. Whereas in Nigeria, reverse is the case. It seems we are taking 2 steps forward and about 6 steps backward. And I tell you one thing, I do not see government as our problem. I do not see Nigerians as our problem. But the institution is our problem. We do not have strong institutions to address our problems. We have issue of insecurity. That has to do with institution. We have issue of political instability. That has to do with institution. We have issue of decadence in our infrastructure. That has to do with institution. We have problem with a lot of things. Religious crisis, ethnic crisis, kidnapping, brigandage, terrorism, name it. To me, yes, we have our own peculiar problems. But no problem is insurmountable.
Government at all tiers are advised to learn from the obstacles the country has overcome as a country and the progress made thus far to help strengthen the plans that the country has in place to put Nigeria back on the path of progress.
Leaders need to look at the issue of the welfareism of their citizens. Then leaders must be highly accountable to their citizens. Then leaders must always subject themselves to the scrutiny. Then we must allow our judiciary to try, because you see the bedrock of democracy is judiciary. If the judiciary is being held hostage by people that are being in power, democracy will not thrive.
Government at all levels should be more dedicated to Nigerian projects, and they should ensure that the promise they had made at various fora for Nigerians, and Nigeria will be better off, and Nigerians will be happy that they have a democratically elected government in place, and they promise us renewed hope. I'm begging them, I'm appealing to them, and I'm charging them to ensure that that commitment they had and still have with Nigerians are fulfilled, not for any other reason, for posterity's sake, because history is recording them, and nobody is going to be in the position forever. Whatever you do today, you become history tomorrow. If they want us to recall them as one of our leaders who actually sacrificed, that we will be remembering, they should consider themselves, one of such to be remembered. So they must ensure that they deliver dividend democracy to all of us.
Democracy Day should transcend beyond the celebration and commemoration to incisive reflection on the past, so that the labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. Angela Daku, KAFTAN TV News.